In this video, I'm going to talk about emergency fund and why you need it. Now, I've read a lot of comments on this channel and it is unbelievable how many people still don't have the basic right. So before you invest your hard-earned money, make sure you understand the basic of investing. What is emergency fund? Emergency fund is basically money set aside to pay for large, unexpected expenses, or things like broken stuff that need replacement as soon as possible. For example, your rooftop, if there is a disaster or something, there's a hurricane, and you have broken rooftop, you need to replace it as soon as possible. And when it rains, you might be in trouble, right? So it is something that you need to replace as soon as possible. Broken laptop, a broken phone, maybe you need the laptop and phone to work and to produce income, basic income that you need. So this is something that are unexpected, all right? And also we sometimes got sick, we have illness, we need to go to hospital, we need to pay for the hospital bills. Sometimes, you know, even though if you have insurance, they need some verification and stuff, and maybe you got into accident, okay, hopefully not, but again, this is things that are unexpected. And then there is a flat tire. Who knows, if you are driving a car to work and then your tire just flat, and then you need to, you know, replace it, or you need to fix this. Then, and this is the big one, guys, fired from a job. Okay, you never know, if you work for a day job, you know, your boss could fire you at any time. You don't own the company, so you're just a piece of equipment. If your boss find a replacement, someone better doing the job than you do, you're gonna get fired. Especially during this, you know, pandemic, and we never know what's gonna happen. We can get fired at any time if we are working for someone else. So you might not have a job for a few months. This is why emergency fund is needed. Lastly, disaster, guys, etc. Depending on where you live, there is gonna be earthquake, a tsunami, there's gonna be a hurricane and stuff. So we never know, these things are unexpected and we need emergency fund, all right? Then why is it important? Before you start any investment, you need emergency fund in place. And then you can invest with peace in mind. Okay, you can see sometimes, you know, when you are investing in crypto, in stocks, in whatever commodities, when you need something, if you have an emergency fund, you don't need to borrow money when shit happens. Okay, when shit happens, you don't need to borrow money. If you have emergency fund, you have enough money to pay for those unexpected things. And then you don't need to sell your investment at loss. When you're investing in stocks, in crypto, sometimes there is this thing called floating loss. Okay, when the stock's price is cheaper or the crypto coin price is cheaper or something, you know, you don't want to sell at a loss because you don't have an emergency fund. You want to wait for the price to go up and then sell at the profit. You know, if you don't have an emergency fund, you have no choice, right? Nobody is gonna lend you money and you don't have anything left, you don't have an emergency fund, you are forced to sell your investment at loss. Okay, so this is why emergency fund is important. And then also you can sleep better, less stress. You know that you have money, you don't have to worry, and then you live longer. If you have less stress, you live longer and you live more happily. Okay, so make sure you have emergency fund. And how much money do you need? What's the rule for the emergency fund? And this is actually depend from person to person. Now my personal good reasonable emergency fund is around 3 times to 6 times of my monthly expenses. Okay, this is the rule of thumb. I saw many people use the similar formula too. If let's say your monthly expenses is $500 a month, you should have 1,500, which is 3 times of that, of $500 a month, to $3,000, which is 6 times of your monthly expenses. If your monthly expenses is $1,000 a month, you should have $3,000 to $6,000 as your emergency fund. Okay, if you don't know your monthly expenses, start tracking them. You can track your monthly expenses using a simple Google spreadsheets, or you can just write it on your phone how much you spend every day, and then you track your expenses for the last 6 months, and you will know your average monthly expenses. Me personally, I'm around 300, 400 a month, so I should have around, let's take 400. So I should have 1,200 to 2,400 as my emergency fund. If you want to be more conservative, you could have 12x. Meaning, if let's say you get stopped from a job, you don't have any money coming in, or you have 1 year of expenses before you find another job, right? But I think 3x to 6x is good enough for most people. Now, you want to put this in a place where it's easy to access when needed. You should put this in a form of cash or in your savings account. You know, when you need this, you can easily withdraw them. You don't want to have your emergency funds sitting in a stock or in like other risky investment, because the price could be lower. Okay, if you try to access them, sometimes they take longer to liquidate it. So you need to have these emergency funds in a place where you can, you know, withdraw the money as quick as possible, so you can use them, okay, to fix your unexpected problems.